All right, so sometimes on live TV, when something messes up, things stop. So nevertheless, I'm able to know that the video stopped midway through. So we're gonna start back. Might link these videos together, but there's definitely gonna be in the description where if you missed the beginning, just go back to the other video for the part one. Again, it was broadcasting live and thing just stopped for some reason, but I knew it stopped. So we're gonna get back into it. We'll resume with the conversation that I was having with Laviska Shenault and talking about a few things. But nevertheless, we're going to get started back with that point. And here we go.
That help. What do you think of that, period?
But I mean, I got to do what's asked of.
All right, now, a lot of talk lately has been about this grass or turf. What do you prefer, grass or turf? Long pause.
I mean, I know the turf is more bad, unless it's like good turf. It don't really matter to me. I mean, I hope I never get injured, but it don't matter.
I know some speed guys like turf.
Oh yeah. All the speed guys don't say turf. You do. It's a for some reason you do run faster on turf, but you don't think so? Yeah, you fast.
And one other question for you before we let you get out of here. Your quarterback, Baker Mayfield, was headbutting guys this last week, and he said that he said the headbutt goes a long way. So I'm not a player, but I want to know how does that help? What do you think of that? Period.
Only a select few can do that. Let's just say that he's a tough guy.
You, Laviska.
All right, so as you see, I was able to resume from that interview that I had with Laviska. Again, apologies about that interruption, but here we're still going back. Now, there were some comments that I did not get to on that last video, but I think I'm gonna be able to use my phone and go back and go through some of those. But yes, B. Evans, we're back. Keep pounding. And Tin Tizzy always joining in. What's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. So, yeah. That was cool talking with Laviska. What I did cut there at the end was Black Sheep was messing with him about, I don't know all the name brands, but he was talking to him about buying him a Coke because it's cold out. If you know Laviska, he likes to be pretty stylish. I think when the first game against the Saints, he had on I think it was a Louis outfit with the black Air Force Ones, I believe. I forget what they call them because I'm not the coolest guy, but I like letting you know what's going on in the locker room. But nevertheless, made it clear to him that, hey, I'm not telling you that you're slow, but how do you do it? And it makes sense what he said, that him being a bigger guy, sometimes those guys may just be coming hard at him, and they take the wrong angle, and it's a wrap, and he continues to score. So I hope it continues to happen. I'm enjoying this team having a little bit more success than we had before with Coach Rule. So keep it up. And you all wondered, I've been wondering, are we ever going to get him the ball more than 5 yards down the field? So he said, hey, I can only do what they tell me to do. So obviously, for whatever reason, Wilkes, Ben McAdoo thinks that right now the best thing to do, give him a short pass, let him work hard, see if he can get some yards after the catch. So there you have it. Again, man of the people, I love working for the fans. You guys wanted me to ask him that question. There you go. So let me give a few more shouts out. I don't think I did say what's up to Chris Johnson. If I did already, then what's up again. And then I see 4 more has come back here as well to the broadcast. All right, next up, the guy that has been responsible for this resurgence of a run game. I think there's been 3 games over 118 yards that he has gotten. And again, I believe that we're a top 5 in that stretch in the NFL for our run game since Christian McCaffrey has gone. And it's not to say that Christian McCaffrey was bad. Obviously, he's an incredible running back. But I really think it caused the team to try to do some things differently, to not just leverage on that one guy and working together better collectively that you're seeing the run game be able to be what it is. Not also to mention and not to forget that they were trying to so hard, even though they're paying this guy, or they were paying Christian, highest paid running back in the league, but they would not just let him run the ball 20, 30 times in a game like they're willing to do for Deontay. And I think you see what happens with most running backs. You give them the ball, you keep feeding them, as they say. Ezekiel Elliott loves to do this right here. You keep doing that, and they're just going to get better. So here's the interview that I had with Deontay Foreman this week, talking about some of his success that he's been having. Give me just one moment, and here we go.
Sorry, Chris, you know that's something to do at 325, so
Okay. What led you to jumping into the stands last week?
It's just something I always wanted to do. So I just took advantage. I kind of had it planned out. I knew if I scored, then I was going to go get in there. So that's pretty much it.
Now, I talked to you before about, like, as the game goes on and you build the momentum, right? Now, let me put it in a different way. As you play more games, as you start more games, are you feeling that contribute to the success that you're having on the field? And how is that helping you as you play more games?
I mean, you just get more comfortable, just being in the game, getting the feel, seeing how the line is blocking, and just, like I said, just getting a feel for the game, Of course, you're going to get more comfortable with the more reps you take.
I think you had 31 carries last week. How many carries can we do in one game?
However many they need, however many we need, I mean, that's my mindset, just whenever they call my number, just go be as productive as I can be and make it happen.
What's going to be some keys for you guys having some success this weekend versus the Ravens?
We just got to go be physical, they got a good defense over there, a lot of good players over there. So you got to go be physical, play our style of football, and just not worry about, the logo or just, just them and everything that they've done. Just go out there and play them as players and, understand that, they men like we men, just got to go out there.
So there you hear from Deontay. Always, he knew what he was going to do already, and that was jumping into the stands. And that was cool to see, because not only did he just jump up like you see players do a lot of times, but he was the first player that I think has ever jumped up, climbed over the bar, and stood in the stands with the fans, took a few pictures, and that was cool to see. And he said just continue to get confidence. The more he starts, the more he's a starter for this team, the more he plays, everything just continues to gel more and play better. And we're going to need that today, certainly, versus the Baltimore Ravens. I guarantee that's a big part of the game plan, is just, control the clock, control the game, run the ball, one throw, run the ball. That'll probably be what you see today in this game. And, one thing, even though I'm not All right. So, there we go. First, it was the internet going out, video cut. Now my camera got too hot, which I've never heard it get too hot, and it cut out. But because we're in the studio, there's lots of redundancy, and we're still here live. Just switch cameras, switch audio, and we're still going through it. So, the strong will survive, right? But I forget what I was talking about just then, because this stuff went out. So do you guys, well, I know it's always a delay from when I'm talking and when you're typing. If somebody can tell me what I was talking about, then I will go back to talking about that shortly. Joey Jice says, what's your prediction for the game? I think that might have been what I was talking about, right? Appreciate it, Joey. I wouldn't count Steve Wilkes out, because I feel like he's got this team to play really well for him no matter what's going on. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the game because of that. Now, again, I'm not going to bet what's going to happen, but I will say I'm not going to count him out, because I believe the players rally behind him so well, and he's going to get them to play the best that they can play today, whatever that looks like. And I strongly don't feel like it's going to look like what it did several weeks ago versus the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, so that was so far we've heard from Laviska Shenault, we've heard from Deontay Foreman. Last but not least is J.C. Horn. So let me go ahead and get that up for you all on the J.C. Horn. Give me just 1 second. And again, questions, comments, leave them. I keep looking at the wrong camera. That camera's out. This camera's on. Questions, comments, leave them. And we got about 15 more minutes we could be online, so I'll answer as many questions as I can during that time. All right, so let's go ahead and go to, last interview. 1 second.
I like to talk and just have fun, even if it's to my guys on my team, the other team. I just try to have as much fun as I can out there.
All right, you guys are going to be missing Dante Jackson not only this week but for the rest of the season. How do you make, or what adjustments do you go to make when that absence is there, like a guy like Dante?
I mean, thankfully, I feel like we got a lot of guys in the corner room that can step up and make plays, and all of us showed that. Like, even down to Tay Hayes, you're a good corner. You know, Keith been making plays this year when his number was called. CJ done made a lot of plays, but we definitely gonna miss Jack, and not even just on the field, but more so off the field. Just his energy is infectious in the locker room with every position. And work, I hit him today during meetings. I'm like, bro, it feels so different without you here because it feels like school now when he's not here. Like, he light up the room with just, his energy and his personality. So we're going to miss him from that standpoint. And, we all know the type player he is, one of the fastest guys in the league, a real good corner. So we definitely going to miss him on the field too. But, we're going to try to, fill in for him and try to make it work.
Now, I know for when you're playing a quarterback like Lamar, I know for the defensive lineman, they say it's important that you stay in your gaps. For secondary, what's important for you when you're playing a guy like Lamar Jackson?
Really just plastering downfield, keeping your eyes out the backfield because he can get away from any situation. Like, he's shown that since he came in the league. So we just got to do a good job of keeping our eyes on our man, not letting people get behind us and scramble drill, and, lead the containing and stuff up to the D-line. We just got to do our job in the back end.
And overall keys for you guys to win this matchup this Sunday?
Tackle. We got to tackle real well. They're a run-heavy team, and like you mentioned, with a threat like Lamar, the ball can break at any time. He can get out of any situation. So just tackling well in space, setting edges on the defense, and that's really the key to winning this game.
Appreciate you much, man.
All righty, so there you have it. Where else? Man, looking at the wrong camera. So there you have it. Where else can you get a credentialed member of the media working for fans like me, where you got interviews with J.C. Horn, Deontay Foreman, as well as Laviska Shenault? And then let me tell you this, just because I love to share it. I feel like there's so many people out there in the media, and they're good at what they do, but it's like straight and narrow, right? I like to just have the approach of like, you got a friend in the media that can tell you what's going on and provide some behind the scenes. Like, I no doubt believe that my job is cool. I don't try to act like it's just an everyday thing. It's nothing. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to share the story with Jeremy Chin, who is now active for today. I had talked to him in the past before, had a little extra respect when he introduced himself to me as I was introducing myself to him, as if I would not know who he is if you followed that. But I was going to talk to him the other day, and as soon as he stands up, the PR people come and say, hey, time's up, you got to get out the locker room. So I was also going to have for you some Jeremy Chin one-on-one interview, but maybe next week. All right, but again, what I am going to have for you tomorrow, subscribe to the channel, is Terrace Marshall Jr. will be on our weekly show. That's an hour long where we have some special guests. So Terrace will be there available for you all to talk to. So if you like that, if you're interested, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so that you can be a part of that. What's going on, Gerard Grant? Appreciate you tuning in. B. Evanson talking about keeping the ball out of Lamar's hands. Yeah, you can't really keep the ball out of his hands, but you just got to try to limit that guy. What is this behind me? Oh, that's my coworker's jacket. Let's see. Nick Cartoony. We have JC and Chen starting. Bozeman is about to play the best game of his career. The Mayfeld miracle is coming to Baltimore. Keep pounding. Man, I wish I could hear you talking, man, because I feel like that was just a tremendous amount of enthusiasm right there. I like it. I like it. We got the we got JC Horn, we got Jeremy Chin, Baker Mayfield resurgence is here. I keep looking at the wrong camera that went out. Appreciate you, Nick Cartoony, which, by the way, I'm going to say, if anybody out there watches TV in Charlotte, you know there's a guy that works in the media called Nick Carboni. And every time I see your name, I think of his name. I think it's pretty funny. Nevertheless, B. Evans, Man of the People strikes again. Such awesome content from the inside. Thanks, Chris. Like, share, subscribe. Hey, I also got to tell you, super chats are welcome. We are independent media, 100% supported by your contributions, all right? So anytime that you have an opportunity to do that, greatly appreciate it. Helps me to continue to stay in business and do what I do, which I hope that you also love as well. So, yes, the Man of the People strikes again. That's all I have for you guys today. Again, I want you to go ahead and get ready to watch this game. Carolina Panthers, Baltimore Ravens is going to take place at 1 o'clock today. One other screen I want to share with you before we get out of here. Let's see if I got it right here. Yes, here we have it. The current rankings for the NFC South. So Tampa Bay and Atlanta are ahead of us. They are 2 games ahead of us. And I know some people may say, I know Chris is not about to talk about the playoff picture, the playoff possibilities, but I got to just tell you what that looks like, okay? Just bear with me, just what it looks like. So we're 2 games behind Tampa, 1 game behind the Falcons, and then we're sitting there tied for 3rd with the Saints. So that's where we currently stand. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in and watched today. I really appreciate it. I always again say, if you ever out and about and you see me, please don't not hesitate to stop and say hello, introduce yourself. I love to meet everybody that I can meet that supports the channel and enjoys what I do. It's always a good thing. So I'm going to get ready to watch this game. The best way to stay tuned with me during the game, because I still will have, even though I'm not there at the game, I still have access to some information that you'll be able to, it's fun to know before they announce on the broadcast, such as player injuries and what's going on with those. So invite you to stay along today with me on Twitter. All of my social media is just Charlotte Vibe. So consider doing that, and I'll see you at the end of the game. All right, Chris Jenkins reporting for Charlotte Vibe.